So then we are back with the modern understanding from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find in the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage. So then we can understand the time of the end as per YershiYAhu the prophet. The unwanted prophet was then destroyed, sawn in half. Precisely his understandings and his scripture we are studying because it came from the Creator. So then, YershiYAhu the prophet said at the time of restoration, there is a time of reduction, and interestingly, in Ezekiel the 38th chapter and the 5th verse, we find then the land of Cush. Amazingly, there is an area over there where then there is a layer of understanding from then YershiYAhu, the 61st chapter and the 38th chapter of Ezekiel, 5th verse, where it states very plainly the land of Cush. And then very wisely Ezekiel has then having the understanding of a shield. Shield has nothing to do with the nations coming against then tabernacling. What the great prophet did understand is while under warfare, tabernacling would be shielded. This is what then the great prophet was explaining. And then there is the word devastation. Devastation is related with the many generations of the cities, tabernaclings, were then devastated. Then there is a time of restoration. There is the word restoring. And the land of Cush, where the first tabernacling is going to be at of the time of the restoration period. And then this layer of the 38th chapter, there is the 39th chapter, parts of it, then the 40, 41st, those are in line with YershiYAhu the prophet, layer upon layer. So when you read the 38th chapter, 5th verse, layers perfectly with YershiYAhu the prophet, 61st chapter. Those have to have the same content. The translators, not even the set apart, did not know how to read it. The set apart, either the translator translated wrong, or because Israel were so disobedient, and then later, then when they tried to write what then Ezekiel was explaining, they did not understand. They made a salad out of it, in quote. It's got nothing to do with the shielding as far as helmets and swords. What is the context of the conversation? The 38th chapter starts with the Creator. The very understanding of the Creator. What do you understand of the Creator? Tabernacling. So then you find the prophet speaking of tabernacling. Then you find other nations at the time of the end, then explaining the time of restoration, restoring. Those who were then tabernacling, but then they were laid away for many centuries. But then to confront the enemies, then tabernacling would be shielded. Isn't a Jewish people stupid? Not set apart. Set apart are tabernaclings. But Jewish people are stupid. I have no idea how stupid they are. They were writing scripture from the great prophet and they did not understand the meaning of the prophecy. They made such a mistake when they were writing it. They did not understand. They mixed up words. They are so confused. Quite honestly, it's not what then the Gentiles would expect from the set apart. Not set apart. They are Jews. Mixing of Takanot, Maasim, and the whole instruction. So then, 38th chapter of Ezekiel, 5th verse, layers perfectly with YershiYAhu the prophet, the 61st chapter. Because both prophets explaining areas of the time of the end from distinct times. But then because Ezekiel, he did have the understanding of the Creator as a shield, a protector. The sense name of the Creator of protection. Shielded. Oh, then they understand what YershiYAhu said in the 50th chapter of Hebrews. Having your senses exercised, isn't it? A sense of protection, a sense of war, then a sense of being fatherly, his tabernaclings, in the many names of the Creator, holy names. Layer upon layer, understanding what it means. 7 spirits of Elohim, 7 functions. Tabernacling. Now let me ask you this. This scoundrel of Prime Minister doesn't understand this scripture. Can he explain the scripture? Can he understand then the instructions? Can they understand then the first son and the second son's relationship? The son of Ibrahim, the first son, the second son, how they are going to relate with each other? Does it not state time of restoration? Restoration of what? Is that the same garbage idea of theirs when the Messiah was around? Restoring the kingdom of Shimon. Riches, money. You know, the Messiah did not make a mistake. But certainly the Prime Minister of Israel is stupid. There is no other word that can compare with it. And then he drags our president already with agenda, repleted with troubles. Then we are nearly bankrupt. And then he drags him over there in a spit of land, cursed, undesirable land. And then he gets mesmerized with the same garbage, and Messiah is far away from them. The Messiah is tabernacling. The first tabernacling of the time of the restoration period, as per YershiYAhu the prophet, as per Ezekiel the prophet, is in the land of Cush. That's why they made a reference of Cush on both prophecies. However, the sense that came upon Ezekiel the prophet was shielding. Then the Creator as protector. YershiYAhu the prophet was 100% precise. He used the tabernacling. What is the content and the content of the prophecy of Ezekiel? Content? What is it? Isn't that tabernacling? But then, stupid people, when they don't understand tabernacling, they think, oh, those are shields, you know, those pieces of metal they wear around themselves. Who is speaking the first wordings of the prophecy? Isn't that the Creator Himself? Isn't that Ezekiel making reference of tabernacling? What sense brings of the protection? Ezekiel then is revealing the content of the entire conversation. Shielding, protection. Thus the name of the Creator as protector. Not even this much the Prime Minister knows. But then he drags around our president and, you know, asking for more money. And mesmerizing with the same garbage at the same time. You go to the land of Israel, the Holocaust. And then takes a tour to that cursed piece of land over there. Then they go over there in the midst of the Palestinians. Then the Israelis are invading the land of Palestinians. And the president doesn't say a word. Obviously, it's cursed. And then we get dragged around because of this stupid Prime Minister. Does not even understand a part of the scripture. That's why Jewish people are stupid. What else can we say? If we were speaking with the set apart, wait a minute, set apart are from the Creator. That's why He sets His people apart from the world's system, thus tabernacling. Then we understand, and there is danger over there because the Creator is absolutely perfect. Now, Jewish? What is Jewish? What is a Jew? It's nothing. Mixing of takanot, maasim of their own, mixed up with tabernacling in scripture. They make a salad out of it, and then we get in the midst of it, and then they get our money. So then, as we understand, as far as this, changing the subject because it is so freaking ridiculous, speaking of Israel in our country, it is absolutely disgusting. It's worse than going to a bus terminal where the lavatory was never cleaned. When a person begins to listen to this garbage from Israel, it's as if you were in a lavatory of a bus station that was never cleaned. It is disgusting. So then, speaking of freighters and then people working and doing the job and being there and providing then and producing the very income that our country must require in order to function, it was explained already what the Messiah said. Give to the government what belongs to the government. The governments, they have the obligation of then instant taxation. The Messiah is already pointing out the fact in the future what we should be doing prior to the coming of the future. What was the Messiah saying? Galah 1:8. Come out of them, my people, so you're not destroyed with them. What is he explaining? It's a system. Because in the same chapter he makes a reference in the freighters of the earth. There is a system where freighters are going to be in charge and then governments are going to be secondary. That's why Israel is going to be absolutely 100% with the entire system, so much of it, gorging themselves with so many riches, and the Messiah then said, come out of them, my people, because you have a duty to do. And then as we understand, the Soviets, they have a hold of the G20. You know, the countries taking care of the trades of the world also, you know, they are in charge. They are going to be there for a long time. As we understand, the Antonov aircrafts are very famous already in Africa. It doesn't take much for a person to understand when you read the scripture and understand the prophecies, then the kingdom of the north. In building equipment, building trucks, mining equipment, you know, those very robust, easy fixing Soviet equipment. Then you find the earth mining is going to be very big, road construction is going to be very big, foundries are going to be very big, and then Soviet equipment very famous. What can you deduce? We in America, if we are not doing the proper marketing, we are not going to have market for ourselves. While then presidents and prime ministers, they get mesmerized with religion, junk and garbage, the prophecies are taking place very in front of our eyes, and then the Pacific already lining up themselves very wisely, and they are coming through. When the time comes, our monetary system goes down, the Chinese system simply is revealed, and people are going to log on the system. And thus far, Amazon is for the most part intact, but not for very long. Africa is going to be the richest. Then we understand north and south, big highway, then east and west, and then ships on both sides. We understand next year the Panama Canal is going to be ready. Then the ULCCs can go through and then serving east and west of South America. What do you understand of South America? Amazon. They have lots of riches over there in ores and you name it. That's the transporters, then the freighters. Retailers are going to be out of work, we understand, because the retailers are already finding very hard, in quote, to get their products sold because the internet is then repleted with inexpensive products, already indicating what's coming in the future. Then you find retailers out of work, stores closing, not enough jobs, then tax not being deducted. And then we are not marketing our product for the future. We understand Solomon Islands, over there northeast of Australia, they are already working in the mining. They want to have strong equipment, reliable equipment because it's near the ocean. The ocean is very harsh. And then you find G20, then those countries involved with the trade, then the Soviets are in charge of it. What do you understand of the Kingdom of the North? You can expect the Soviet Union coming up with their basic trucks, basic mining equipment, basic aircraft, robust, nicely built, and making a huge market for themselves. As they are doing for a long time. They do this with tanks. They go over there, they exchange diamonds for tanks. We don't get the reports every time, but at night, they drop the tanks over there in exchange for sacks of diamonds. If we don't market properly in South America, encouraging the Amazon road to be completed east and west, and then south and north, providing them with our great quality trucks of old from the 60s, from the 70s, from the 50s. Robust, easy fixing, serviceable, and then understanding fuel depots along the line with those miners over there, working every day. Then you understand freighters. Then you understand what it means, transportation. Then you understand what the Messiah said in Galatians 1:8. Time of deceit is gone. After 2009, the time of deceit is gone. You have to focus on tabernacling. The Creator wants tabernacling. The prophets indicated in time of restoration, and then the devastation of yourselves for so many centuries. Ezekiel was a bit vague. More than likely because the stupid Jew that was writing didn't understand and left many words out, and then the rest of it made a salad out of it. But not YershiYAhu the prophet. And making deals with the freighters, shipyards, make sure we have ports that can handle the many thousands of parcels coming in. Those postal services depot, they're going to have so many packages they won't be able to handle it. And worse yet, the government won't be able to pay their people. When the system comes, don't be mistaken, because Israel is going to log on and say, you know what? We don't want any more relationship with USA. They get the money from the system. They don't have to get the money from us anymore. And then we are left busted, our economy ruined, and no market to do the rest of it. Oh no, in quote, let's go over there and listen to this Prime Minister of Israel. Let's listen to his wisdom. If we can say wisdom, because he's no Yah, he does not have Yah in him. He's a scoundrel, he's a liar, he's from the time of deceit. He's deceiving again our president, making so many voluminous volumes of pompous words. And he gets mesmerized in this atmosphere of, garbage, but then has a fragrance like roses. And both of them are then swimming in garbage. When the system comes, Israel is going to say, we don't want any more USA because, we have a source of income. They're going to log on the system. Mashiach, he was not playing games. The Creator always precise. We have to understand the content and the context of tabernacling. Then when you read the scripture from the viewpoint of the prophet, it comes out very cleanly, very understandable. And both layers, as the Creator has said, layer upon layer. You layer this prophet during this time period explaining of tabernacling. Later, another generation, they have another prophet over there because they must be pointed instructions. And they understand tabernacling, but they have to layer with the previous prophet, so both of them, through generations, they can be in line. Thus, layer upon layer. You would say then, generation upon generation of tabernacling understandings. It is similar. The minimum this Prime Minister of Israel should do is quit. Simply get away from the government. He has caused us a lot of trouble already. And he has no shame on the face in asking for more. The Creator said, take care of tabernacling, not mixing itself with the world system. Tabernacling, this is what the Messiah said. Go therefore around the world and form tabernaclings. Jewish people are stupid. I don't care who that person is. I only listen to set apart. Set apart people, when they recognize themselves, we are set apart. Then listen to them. Jewish people, forget it. They are stupid. And they drag the world with them because the world has no knowledge. The great prophet YershiYAhu, because of the Creator told him, land of Cush, tabernacling. Ezekiel said precisely the same. YershiYAhu used the proper word tabernacling. Tabernacling is shielded by nature. However, Ezekiel was explaining of the combat And he explains of tabernacling being shielded. So let's reread the scripture from the very original document to be acquainted with tabernacling. So we won't find ourselves believing this jargon of political, stupid people having no clue what it means tabernacling. And then we get mesmerized, and then we write checks where we don't want to have any balance. And the Prime Minister has no shame on the face. He doesn't even get red anymore. He has absolutely no shame on the face. He knows we are bankrupt.